and gentlemen, oh my goodness. Welcome back to HMP. We have been doing some streaming and stuff lately, and I'm doing a little bit more right now, so hopefully this will all work out and everything. But I had to respond ultimately to a hater. You know, we have the internet. The internet's out there, and it's a lot of fun. But sometimes somebody can get all up in your grill and make you regret the day. And I regretted it the other day when I got this because, I said some stuff on the internet that might have sounded mean. And we'll go over it. We'll figure out exactly, was I in the right or in the wrong? We'll figure it all out. But before we do that, like and subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. You know how it is. And again, we're going to be doing some more streaming and stuff. So hopefully you can get on board with that and we'll see what happens. We're doing it on YouTube, Kick, and what's the other one? Twitch. We're doing it all on all the things. So no matter where you are, you can get a little bit of HMP in your time here. And and join in on those live chats and everything as well. We really appreciate that. So as it happens, I don't know about you, but I go over on the tweets every now and then, or not Twitter. I don't really do that one, not much anymore. But these days, actually, it's TikTok. They all have the T's. The TikTok. I was resistant for a very long time, and then if you just realize that it's going to kind of give you the best sort of algorithm and talk about the things that you're actually going to be interested in, so that's what's pretty cool about TikTok and stuff, is you can kind of keep swiping, and if you don't like something, eventually you'll find something that you do, and if you don't, just keep swiping away. But if you start engaging with it, if you start hate gauging on it, then they're going to keep feeding you more. So don't fall for that one. But I want to go over what led to my what I'll call hater video. They're not really a hater, but she's, for the purposes of this video, super big time hater, hates me to death. But we're going to go over that and just kind of see what led to that, and then we'll kind of get into it. So first of all, let's pop this up here and get the main TikTok that started it all.
It really is just so devastating. They said that TV film jobs, writing jobs specifically, shrunk by 43% from 2023 to 2024. Like, it's a career I've had immense privilege of for 10 years. Like 10 years working as just a writer.
And that's nice.
Not many people can say that.
Very true.
For the industry to actively be contracting so viscerally, I don't think that we're designed to cope with things like this. It's like waking up one day and the house is gone, but you're still in bed and but a tornado took the house away overnight. I guess it is nice to be on here with people and we're going through it together. It's hard. It's hard.
And here's the thing. I feel bad for this guy because, I don't want anyone to lose a job here, but he said it himself, man. He's been in the TV and film industry for 10 years. For 10 years, he's been doing stuff. And that's flipping awesome that he's been able to do that for that amount of time. But at the same time, too, it is what it is with this stuff, man. We are at a certain time where we're not delivering on things, and that's kind of been a bit of a bummer lately. So let's close this window. So to this gentleman's response, I said, I've got the cure for all of this. Write better movies and TV shows, and then don't produce them for 10 times what they should cost. You did this to yourselves. And I got to be honest with you. Who's gonna lie with this? Who's gonna say otherwise? It's 100% truthful. And so then there was a little bit of the what do you call it? Blowback.
This is one of the most annoying takes that I see about the film industry, and I especially love it when it comes from someone who claims that they love this industry and wants to be immersed in everything. Like this guy says he has a movie podcast.
Now, I don't just say it. I actually have one. I've had it for well over a decade at this point. Within that decade, only 1 week missed, and that was only because my co-host just didn't record a show. I had COVID, man. I was on the deathbed. But yeah, I am into this. I'm into movies. I am into this kind of stuff. That is why I do the things that I do. And yeah.
You do not love movies and you do not love writers if you say shit like this, because that means that you would actually have an awareness of what is going on in this industry right now.
I do. I absolutely have an insight into the industry right now because numero uno, I've been going to movies for 40 years at this point. I'm very well aware of everything that's going on. I have very close contacts. We'll just put it that far as Hollywood and the entertainment industry is concerned and stuff. I mean, I'm talking people that are on movies and television shows that you actually know names. I'm not talking about like just independent and commercial work and stuff like that. I'm talking like, oh, this is from one of the big dogs. I know people like that. So I'm fully aware of what's going on and how it's not, the rosiest of times for everybody. I absolutely get that. But things are not looking good right now. And we're going to get into why.
And at how badly writers want to be telling their own original stories. The original poster was discussing that the constriction in the industry is hurting so bad right now, especially for writers. And then this guy pops in and he's like, I've got the cure to this. Write better movies and TV shows and then don't produce them for 10 times what they should cost.
That guy sounds smart. That guy, hella smart.
You did this to yourselves. As if writers have ever been in the power play position to make those types of choices.
In the large overhauling scheme of everything, you're right. They don't have that. They don't have those options. They aren't usually the ones that are looked to as the be all end all. But I will push back on this. It's called you're the people that have the stories. If you don't have stories, people just show up to an empty building and go, "Hey, what do you want to do today?" I mean, Christopher Guest might be able to handle it, but the majority of the other folks out there, they're not going to be able to rock that one. So writers are definitely important here. And again, we're going to get into why.
You could watch one episode of The Studio and it will tell you exactly what's going on in this industry. Everybody is...
First of all, I'm not going to do that. And Seth Rogen knows why. I'm not going to go into it. There's no reason for me to get into it. But I don't need to watch The Studio. Because, hey, Seth, just seemed kind of boring. Seemed kind of, I don't know, whatever. Even though it's, one of the great things that's out there, I'm just gonna ignore it. He knows what it's about. He knows why.
Scared shitless. That is why very few risks are being taken, because there are studios out there, production companies who are taking risks, and I hope more pop up and you're just not paying attention.
This is one of the contentions that I have with her video and everything, is that she says that like she misconstrues whatever my quote unquote intentions are. And I think that's a dangerous thing, because half the things that she accuses me of, I never actually said in the first place. I want small independent, creators and movie makers to do their thing. I want that to exist. Unfortunately, she's one of these people that believes that the only way that you can go about that system is to do it with a studio on your back, to have them be the ones to help you along with this. And we're going to find out why in just a moment.
There's this crazy thing called capitalism, where these studios' main goal is to be profitable, and they can be profitable by using their own IP.
So she's admitted it right there, is that they want to be profitable by using their own IP. And that's 100% true, which then starts to beg the question to you, why would they need you? Seriously, if they're working with their stuff, if they are working with established IP, which that they are, that's all we're doing today is working with established IP. No one is actually going out and doing anything unique and interesting. I mean, there's a handful, obviously. There's a handful of stuff. But for the most part, we're getting, remakes, live action remakes, reboots, redos. We've got the, fourth Fantastic Four movie coming out at this point. And early rumors on that one. Not looking so good, which really pisses your boy off here, because I'm a big, giant Fantastic Four fan. So why would Hollywood need you? You're not making a good case for yourself in this. For somebody that's just going like, hey, I'm trying to make a case for the writers and stuff like that, you're not doing a swell job so far.
And yes, we could sit here and discuss that. Oh my gosh, we should all be making content on these platforms that we have right now. I have an audience here. I should start doing that.
Yeah.
Completely valid. But let's just use your example. A cheap TV episode, one episode
This is gonna be good.
around like $3 million. So let's say we're going to take like 1/10 of that. I still need $30,000 to make a quality TV episode to compare with that.
Yeah. And honestly, you don't even need that. You don't even need that much money, because guess what? You said it yourself. You've got the tools. You're holding one right now. You're pointing a $1,200 camera right back at your face. You could point that camera at someone else. You could write things for people. Point a camera at them. Because here's the thing, man. This might have been a good argument in the 80s. In the 80s, this might have been a good one. But in the year of our Lord 2025, where you have the ability to do whatever you want, this ain't it. This ain't it.
It's not accounting for marketing cost. And
again, she's going to go into this, and you're going to hear a lot of other times where she's talking about marketing costs and other things like that. And at the end of the day, who gives a crap? We're not talking about marketing stuff at this point, and you're not going to need to, because hopefully you're going to be good enough. But let's figure out where she's going.
Distribution. And we exist in the attention economy, and it's harder than ever to grab people's attention and hold on.
Absolutely.
That is why you want to go to a studio. You want to go to these conglomerates.
Wrong. You listen, I understand that that's the mindset that has been in place for, nigh on 40, 50 years at this point, is that you have to go through these channels and stuff like that. But you do not. And again, the further on that we get into the future, the longer, the more untrue this statement keeps becoming. Every single time it's getting more and more untrue. You want to know why? Because everybody's done it. Don't believe me? Have you seen a little show called It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia? You know how they got that show made? They just shot it. They got a little shitty video camera, horrible audio. They shot it and they made a pilot. They put it together and they kind of sold it on that. There's so much other stuff out there that's just like that. Shane Gillis's new show Tires. He did that for nothing. He made it up, put it together. It cost $0 to do, and he got paid a buttload of money for it. Why can't you do that? Why can't all of these writers who are scraping along for this stuff, why can't they just pick up I was going to say pen, but a typewriter, just pick up their laptop, start writing. Start writing a low-budget, independent thing that you can shoot for $0. If you're as good as you're saying that you are, and I hope that you are, I think that you're probably great. Why aren't you producing stuff? Where's it at? And we're going to hear some excuses in just a second here, but you don't need these excuses. These excuses are pretty bad.
To help you. As someone who is a multi-hyphenate, I have this TikTok, I have other things that I'm going after that I might direct one day. I understand why all writers do not want to be directors. They do not want to be distributors. Those skill sets take years to learn. That's why there's all these people that do these separate things.
It's a good point. She's 100% correct. I come from the news world, television news for about a decade. And kind of the last couple of years here and everything, news stations have gotten wildly cheap. In as much as what they'll do now, instead of sending out a reporter and a photographer or cameraman, as you will, sending two of them out, they'll send one out. They'll just send an anchor out or a reporter out, and the reporter will shoot the story. They will anchor the story. They'll edit it. They'll do everything. They'll do every little piece of it. And then they're the ones that are going to shoot it back out. They're driving the live truck out there. They're doing everything. They're doing the whole 9 yards. They went to journalism school to journalism, not to run a friggin' camera. I get it. But at the same time, too, if you ain't got no money, take your broke ass home. No, wait. If you ain't got no money, what you need to do at that point is just shoot something that doesn't cost money. No one's saying that you got to shoot Titanic, but you don't got to shoot, you don't just, all I'm hearing is excuses like, oh, we don't have the money to do this. We don't have the marketing campaign to do this. We're going to get into it in a second, but that's a bull crap excuse.
For example, your podcast would be doing a lot better if you had a marketing team behind it.
Amen. 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 Absolutely. No one would deny that. No one would deny that. I mean, look at it right now. I'm streaming online and there's 4 viewers, and I think probably 3 of them are me. Yeah, I could 100% do with a giant marketing campaign, or people that would market my stuff for me, because she is 100% right. That's not my bag. That's not what I'm doing, and I'm doing the best that I can at this literal moment right now, streaming out on 3 different things. I'm doing the best to wave the flag for myself, because you know what? There's no one else here that's going to do it for me. No one's going to come up to me and be like, "Hey, man, you want to go to the top?" No, you got to do it yourself. You got to push through and just do shit. You got to figure it out. But just kind of going like, "Well, I don't have the studios aren't here to give me enough money to do this. I've got to eat, An iPhone, man. You ever heard of David F. Sandberg? You know, the guy that directed the 2 Shazam movies that came out for DC? You know what he did before that, right? He made a movie called Lights Out. What did he do before that? He made a YouTube short called Lights Out. He did a YouTube short, like a whole bunch of like horror shorts and stuff with him and his wife. That's all they did. In Sweden, no less. In Sweden, this man and his wife together, just the 2 of them, are shooting horror movies together. And next thing you know, homeboy is, on one of DC's top tier comic book movies and everything. For 2 of them, 2 movies. He was just directing shorts on YouTube. Yeah. It's not impossible. Donald Glover's sketch group. What was the name of those guys back in the day? I forget. But they shot stuff on the internet. They did it for free. Workaholics, same situation, man. All of these, like, there's proof out there. It's one of these things that's like, man, once it's been done, it can be done over and over again. No one was doing 900s until Tony Hawk did one in the X Games. And then guess what? Every 14-year-old can do a 900 now. Somebody's got to break the barrier. And here's the thing, the barrier done been broke. You're just using the excuse of like, well, the studio system's not hyping me up, so if they're not supporting me, how on the earth can I do anything? Well, with that attitude, you're not gonna.
And I genuinely adore the creators out here who are doing all of these things themselves, but they also might have grown up with this technology and have been able to master it at a time when they had a lot more free time. They didn't have bills to pay.
Prepare yourself, madam. Compliment incoming. I'm gonna get a good frame. This is not an old lady. This is a young lady. This young lady has told us that, like, oh, I can't figure out cell phones. I can't figure out technology. How am I supposed to do this with my brain? I sold internet at one point, man, and we'd call people all around the country, and you try to sell them internet, television, phone, like you do, right? And, so the lady's just like, I just want television. Just give me television. I was like, okay, ma'am. But, you'll get a better deal if you have, your internet in there as well. And my God, everybody's got the internet these days. And she goes, oh, no, sweetheart, I don't do any internet. That's just, oh, my God, it's too complicated. It's too much stuff going on. I don't know. It's too confusing. I stay away from that stuff. I'm not going to do it. I was like, all right. I mean, I guess if you just want television, we'll sell you television. I go through, and this woman is 47 years old. She was acting like she was 95. And I'm like, look, man, at the time, my grandpa's like 75 years old, man. He's on the internet selling, pens and stuff that he whittles and makes and all that kind of crap. You can do these things if you want to. Her excuse of, oh, I just don't know how to use the telephone to make movies. Shut up, dude. You're making a TikTok right now. You put these words on the screen. You know what you're doing. Don't act. I mean, like, what a lousy excuse of just like, hey, all these kids, they grew up with telephones. And I didn't know how to do any of this shit. I didn't know how to do any of this. I picked up this streaming this weekend. That's how. I didn't do any. All I did was just go like, hey, I want to do this. And guess what? I figured it out. 43 years old, and I figured this shit out. Guess what? You can too, because I know something right now. You're not as old as I am. So this excuse of like, well, I don't really. No, shut up. You can make a film on your phone. My God.
That they are the future, and it's going to be really exciting to see some of their stuff come out. But that doesn't mean that we negate all these other amazing creatives because they aren't master marketers.
Again, she rolls into the marketing thing, and I'm like, I'm not damning any small creators. I'm not damning any independent filmmakers. If anything, I want those people to strive. It's the people in Hollywood that I'm mad at. I honestly, I don't give a damn that they're going through and, and shutting studios and stuff down. The cat's gotten way too fat. You got to put him on diet. Cat too big. You took your little chubby ass cat into the vet. They put that big old chunker on the scale. And all of a sudden that guy was like, oh my God. This cat's a bowling ball. It's got to lose weight. You make it lose weight. Otherwise the cat's going to die.
They don't know what SEO is. That is not their specialty. They are amazing storytellers, amazing writers.
And again, you don't have to worry about that stuff these days. Again, if we were working at a time where something like YouTube didn't exist, you'd have an absolutely valid excuse. If this were 1990, actually, if this were like 2005 even, you'd have a great argument. Great argument. But now, in 2025, put it on YouTube, man. If it's good, people are going to watch it. If it's not, they won't. But, if you're as good as you say you are, we'll see it, right?
Just so nasty and asinine and clueless. There are loads of amazing and great things being made out there right now.
This is one of the problems that she thinks that for whatever reason that I have said that there's not quality programming out there. Not what I said at all. Like Tarantino said many, many years ago, Hollywood produces enough stuff of quality that I think it justifies their existence and everything. However, that is dwindling year over year. The quality of what we are getting from Hollywood is tanking and tanking fast. Again, I'm not saying that there's not great stuff out there. I've seen a lot of really, really great movies, honestly, in this past year even. And this year has been pretty dog shit for movies. It's been pretty terrible. But you know what? I've seen a very good handful of films that I thoroughly enjoyed. So these things exist. You just got to make sure that you can actually get out there and, watch them. Most people don't. It tends to be the problem. And again, that's a whole nother story for a whole nother stream here and everything. The idea of why movie theaters and stuff are all dying.
Go download a few scripts from the end of your blacklist and see how creative and fun people are in the movies that we could potentially have if studios could take more risks right now.
Again, this is a problem that I have. Is she saying like, oh, go download the blacklist? Oh, I don't contest that there aren't things on the blacklist and other stuff like that is, well written and should be made. I certainly believe that's true. I'm not arguing for the things that aren't made. I'm arguing against the things that are made. I'm arguing against those things. I don't think those things are good. When we see, 15th rendition comic book movie, we don't need that. We don't need it. We need more blacklist stuff, and I'll grant you, we could probably do 5 blacklist scripts for half a Marvel movie, Well, we don't want to do that because that'll waste money. And again, she's talking about the capitalism of it and everything, and that's what's one of the hilarious things about all this is I don't think Hollywood really understands how capitalism works. I think there's too many commies over there because you need to learn how to make money, guys, because you have no friggin' clue how to do it. You have really screwed the pooch on this one. But we're not about the studios and making money at this point. We're talking about this lady and the creatives and stuff like that. But yes, there are plenty of creative things out there. I am hopeful for the creative things that happen in the future. But the stuff that we're getting right now, we are in the depths of summer. Raise of hands, who's excited for the summer lineup of movies this year? Bueller? No, it doesn't exist. That's right.
There are phenomenal YouTube and TikTok series out there right now, but those.
Now, this is another one I want to bash against for half a second here. When people say that they're now YouTube series, sure. But when people talk about TikTok series, y'all need to shut up with this one. This is another one that Hollywood thinks that they're getting right, and they're getting absolutely dead ass wrong. As they're going, listen, people aren't, and this much is true. People aren't watching television. People aren't watching movies and stuff anymore. People are watching this the fast content, the bite-sized content. They're flipping through on TikTok and all this stuff. That's where we need to go with all of our material. And I'm here to tell you folks, bad idea. How do I know? Quibi. Quibi was here and Quibi died. There's another thing I fight with people on TikTok quite a bit is that they think like, oh, it's going to be fine. No, Quibi just died because Quibi died because it was a shit idea. Outside of comedies and stuff, you're not going to find anything in a serialized format that goes through like a swipey swipe deal and have it be any damn good. Certainly not narrative. You can have it in bits and bytes and stuff, but you can't do an actual narrative, a dramatic narrative in short form TikTok styles videos. It just doesn't exist. Because you're gonna jump in on a chapter that's not the one that you're going to, and you're gonna go back and try to figure that. No, you're not doing any of that shit. That's ridiculous. Get out of here.
Creators don't understand quite how to market it, and they're not getting the eyeballs that they need. Is that fair?
It's not fair that they don't have the eyeballs and stuff like that. But I will say this much is that there do need to be, young marketers out there that grab different people, be it YouTube people, be it podcasters, whatever, and, apply their services and start getting, get a company, get somebody off. Like if somebody came, I'll just use myself as an example. I'm not asking for this, mind you, but if somebody came to me and was just like, hey, here's my services and stuff. I know you're a very small channel. You don't have much shit going on right now. But here's some stuff, I'll do some marketing and stuff for you, whenever you get paid, let me know, so to speak. I'd be on with that and prove yourself as one of those people. And then you can just get up and be like one of those marketing people. I don't know, but like, again, just put it on YouTube. What are you talking about that we need to go out and SEO and market and all this shit? Put it on the internet. What's wrong with you? It's 21st century.
No, it doesn't mean that good things aren't being made. Again, back to the attention economy. The fact that you're too lazy to go look for them is all on you.
Again, she's saying that I'm lazy, that I'm not going to look for new content or like interesting film content. I promise you, miss, I see more movies in the theater than you do. I watch more movies on a regular basis than you do. It's not like me going like, I know more than I just do, baby. I just do. It is what it is. So for somebody that's actively going out and looking for interesting and smart stuff out there, you ain't talking to me.
And all on the execs who don't want to take that risk.
Now, you want to put it on the executives, you can, but don't put me in the same pot as the executives, because I ain't doing that shit. Because you know what I would do? I would start green lighting a lot of small things. I would start taking $5 to $10 million budgets and spreading them out a bunch of people that have interesting stories to tell. That's what I would do. I would say, hey, man, instead of making this $100 million Marvel movie, let's make 50 small ass movies that are cool and that are interesting. And there's people that are starting to do this. Robert Rodriguez right now is starting his little Troublemaker Studio, whatever the hell his little offshoot thingy is called. And once he's doing that, he's like, hey, man, we're putting together these action films. He's going to do for action, hopefully, fingers crossed here. But Rodriguez is going to do for action films what Jason Blum did for horror films. And frankly, I think that is absolutely needed. We need interesting, thought-provoking, or at least, get your jollies going films that are made for no monies. Movies were supposed to be the outfit for the poor people. You know what I mean? When movies first came out, it was to get away from having to do the theater in every single city and state, So they'd go around and they'd have to go, well, the theater can only be here for so long. We can only do, 1 or 2 performances a night and everything. Hey, but with a movie, we can do as many performances as we want and keep on going and, infinitum and everything. And we've only had to pay the actors once. And so that was the whole idea of all this stuff. And it was meant for people that were too poor to go to the theater. And our prices have gone too high. And that's a whole nother rant. But these are the problems that we're facing here. It's not goobers like me that are pointing out that bad shit's being made, and that I don't feel horrible for a lot of big giant staff writers and stuff like that who've been pumping out absolute utter garbage for years now. If you don't think that there are writers' rooms pumping out absolute loads of turd garbage, I suggest that you turn on any network television. Any primetime network television you turn on is going to be absolute and utter slop. And people are paid an ungodly amount of money for it. And because these shows end up going into syndication and everything, they're going to be paid a whole lot of money for a whole lot of slop for a whole lot of long time. Now, that's great for the slop makers, but it's not great for the people that actually want to put out proper art and everything, which it feels like this lady does. It feels like that's what she actually wants to do. But the problem is either A, she feels like, somebody owes her money in order to do it. And I got to tell you, if you're not established, if you're not, Aaron Sorkin and some shit, you probably need to be going out there and doing your own stuff. I think that's what she needs to get on. I think she needs to get on, just do something, man. Just saying like, oh, we can't do it without the studios. That's ridiculous.
So you're just as bad as the Suits. I hope you have the day you deserve.
I just because it didn't load properly into my thing here. I did have the day that I deserved after that. Because I was in the Caribbean at the time, and it was quite lovely. But yeah, man. That's kind of my big complaint, or that's my response. I don't know what she was looking for. I'm not quite sure what she thought my thoughts were, but at the end of the day, I want independent films to be made. I think they're awesome. I think what Jason Blum is doing with Blumhouse and saying for the majority of new films and stuff in there that, hey, you can only have, $5 million. Do with it what you want. You'll make whatever you want to make, but you only get $1 million. And then they'll take about $1.5 million or so, market it up with that. And even if the movie is dog shit, you can probably do quite well. You'll probably do fine. You'll probably, like most of those Blumhouse films, no matter what, end up being profitable by the first weekend, if not just the second weekend. I mean, look at the folks at A24. That's another one I didn't mention. The guys that did Bring Her Back. Again, YouTubers. So you can't say that like, oh, or at least you shouldn't say. I'll put it to you that way. You shouldn't say, oh, I can't make any independent stuff because I don't know how to edit. I don't know how to cell phone. That's a ridiculous excuse. That's just dumb. So again. If you watch this at all, appreciate you. Thank you. You're awesome. And come back on Sunday, maybe around probably, I don't know, 6 or so, 6 or 7 o'clock. We'll figure that out. But that is it, everybody. We'll see you next time.